Hey guys, welcome to Big Loz Official. Today we are going to start looking at the build up towards the Ultimate Strongman UK Strongest Man final. This year in St Albans, second time it's been over in England, back at St Albans. Obviously I competed there last year, I was meant to be competing this year, unfortunately injured and can't compete. But I thought I'd give you my predictions as always. I like the UK's is a good one to look at because often I look at the international shows and we've got a lot of new guys that maybe you wouldn't have heard of, guys that could be worth looking out for in future competitions. And the UK's is a very different show. If you've never been before, it's based over 3 days. They have qualifiers throughout the country to get the top 16 guys competing. It's the only show that actually runs qualifiers for a big national event. And it's a great opportunity for new people getting into the sport to really be seen and build up their profile and kind of do well and get some exposure on TV. So firstly, the contest is the 26th to the 28th of July. It's at Abbey View Athletics Track in St Albans. If you are interested in getting tickets, we'll put a link down below. And I will be there over the days. I've been asked to be a part of the show, so I'll be there. Obviously not competing, but I'll be supporting the guys and doing some stuff behind the scenes. So I'm looking forward to that. Quickly, we're going to look at. I've got the two groups here, so let me just explain quickly. So I've got 16 guys. They split them into two groups. On the first day, they kind of call it the quarterfinals. There's two groups of 8. The guys will do 4 events. And the bottom 2 guys after 4 events are eliminated, and then they start day 2 with 6 guys in each group. It goes back to 0 points, another 4 events, and then the top 4 from each group will progress to the final, and then there's a 5 event final again starting from scratch. The top 4 from each group go into the final. So it's a tough competition, you know. It's over 3 days. It's a lot of events, 13 events I think. 13 plus they do what's called an eliminator. I'm not a fan of these type of events. I've kind of spoken about World's Strongest Man doing like eliminator type events, but it is quite exciting I guess for guys watching. But it's where they'll do an Atlas Stone run between the bottom 3 after day 1 and again the bottom 3 after day 2, and then the winner of that goes through to the next day or to the final. I hope that makes sense. So, 2 groups this year. Group A, we have defending champion Para Dwyer, very good all-round strongman. Para's a great deadlifter. He's kind of, not done too many internationals so far, but he's kind of making a name for himself, getting better and better each year. Para beat me last year. We had a good battle. He came out on top. And then you've got Paul Benton from Scotland. He's a very good Scottish athlete. He's usually very, very close towards, just behind kind of the likes of the Strongman brothers in Scotland. Daniel Gracia, good up-and-coming English guy. He's done a few of the Champions League competitions before and come back from a quite nasty bicep tear, and he's come back really, really well. He's performed well in some of the qualifiers this year. The big Welshman, Gavin Biltong, this guy's one to look out for. He's built perfectly. He's got the kind of frame to be a real good strongman. Very tall, very big kind of joints, and he's improving every year. He competed last year, was a little bit green to it. He's had a good year of training. I think he can do well. Andrew Flynn from England, another new guy. I don't know too much about him if I'm totally honest, but he's qualified. All the qualifiers are pretty tough, There's so many guys kind of snapping on the heels of the top guys these days that if you're getting through these qualifiers, you're usually pretty good. And a lot of these guys have certain events that they're really good at. I've got the guys that I think will be challenging for the title, but a lot of these kind of younger guys and the newer guys, there's certain events that they can challenge on. Scott Milne, he's from Scotland, improving again. He competed last year, did very well. Chris McNaughton from Ireland, very strong guy, real strong shoulders, his deadlift's powerful, good character as well. He's been improving. He's had a couple of injuries, but he's still managed to qualify, and I think if he can come in fresh, he can surprise a lot of people. He's got a good coach, but we won't talk about that. And Ryan Bennett from England as well. Another young, powerful guy. He's just getting better every time I see him. He's been down to train with me a few times. I've been really impressed by what I've seen. His overhead's getting really strong. He moves well. It's going to be a challenging group. Pa, I think, will qualify quite comfortably. I think he'll probably try and save energy and just make sure he's feeling good for the final. I think Gavin Biltong, Paul Benton, Paul comes in shape. He's a lot of people that kind of see Paul, he's kind of got this reputation of being the bad boy of strongman. He's actually a lovely guy. You see him kind of behind the scenes, but he can just let his emotions get to him sometimes. If he can kind of compose himself, he's a threat to anyone. He's a really, really good strongman, good all-round athlete. I think Chris, if he comes in shape, I really believe Chris can make the final. Biltong, there's Dan Grassia's got that experience of competing in Champions League before, and he's competed against the likes of Zadrunas and myself, and a lot of other top athletes. I'd like to see Ryan do well, but it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a good battle for those third, fourth places to get to the final in Group A. Group B, very, very strong opening guy here, Graham Hicks. He's stepped in to replace me actually, and Graham, I can't see him having a problem getting through. To be quite honest, Graham is my favourite for the whole contest. I can't really see anyone touching him, and I'll go through events for the final later, but that'll kind of explain why. And we've got Mark Jeans from Wales. Very, very good athlete, exceptionally good at things like the yoke, Atlas stones, those type of events. It's good to see him back competing. He's had a year or so off, and he's back competing at the UK's again. Sean Logan, very, very strong guy. Won England's strongest man last year. He's getting stronger and stronger. Excellent deadlifter. Hopefully the experience he's gained over this year is going to help him. Jonathan Kelly from Ireland, another good Irish competitor. Lewis Jack from Scotland. I don't actually know, I've never seen him compete, but the Scottish guys with the Stoltmans has kind of have raised the standard up in Scotland, and now you're seeing a lot more competitive Scottish athletes. Rob Spence, the junior champion. So Rob Spence is the 2 times now England junior or UK junior champion. Very, very good at the moving event, like the fast events. Like he's good at loading, very, very good at Atlas stones. Still feel he needs more static strength to really step up, but he's going to be a threat, especially with the eliminator being the Atlas stones. He finds a way to get through every day. So with the right events, he's a very dangerous athlete. Matt Diamond from Wales, again, someone I don't know too much about. And Chris Morgan, someone I've been very impressed with. I saw him compete this year. Very, very strong all round. He really kind of dominated his qualifier to get to the Englands, and has obviously done well to make it to the UK's. I think he'll be the one that sort of mixes things up and kind of, I think guys like Hicksy, Mark Jeans will probably get through quite comfortably, and I think Chris could definitely be challenging for 3rd or 4th spot in that group. It's going to be tight. There's no one that stands out that's like a guaranteed between the rest of them. I think it's going to be a great battle, dependent on events, dependent on who comes in shape, injuries, all those type of things become a factor in any of these contests. So we'll get to the final. I'm not going to go through all the events. There's so many events. I'm just going to focus on the last day's events for the final. So bearing in mind, I'm kind of predicting a fight between Para Dwyer and Hicksy. I can't bet against Hicksy for this contest. Hicksy won the British last year, and he really doesn't have, statically particularly, he doesn't have a weakness. If you look at all the top British guys, you take like Felix, Terry Hollands, the Stoltman brothers, Adam Bishop, myself, none of us are as complete as Hicksy in terms of static strength. Myself, I'm a good deadlifter, I'm a good squatter, my pressing's a little bit weaker. You get like Luke Stoltman, his pressing's awesome, his squat's good, his deadlift's a little bit weaker. Bish's pressing's a little bit weaker. Hicksy is good at everything. He's good at log, he's good at squatting, he's good at deadlifting. His static strength is unbelievable. And then when you look at the events, the first event is the super yoke. Hicksy's very, very good at super yoke. Second event is log for max. No one's even going to come close to him in that lineup. I mean, Hicksy's looking at world record attempts. You know, he has the current British record. There's no one in that contest that is going to come close to Hicksy on a log for max event. The only guy I think that could get close to Hicksy out of a British athlete isn't competing in this contest. So, you know, he's on another level, particularly for max. I think he's even better than he is for reps. The car roll, he's just going to have that power. He's done it once before. He's athletic, he's fast. Maybe not the fastest guy, you know, he's put a lot of size on. He's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still very, very powerful, and he's going to have that just sheer power to get the car rolling, and he'll keep it going well. The truck pull, having more size. The truck pull's probably his worst event in the final, if I'm totally honest, but I think against this lineup he'll still perform very well. You know, when I say it's not his best event, I'm talking about world's strongest man level. But Hicksy, he's got big body weight now, and he's getting better every time he does truck pulls. So again, I really can't see him. I can't see enough people beating him, even if, say, Pa does manage to take a win on this event. I don't think enough people will get in between him, because Pa's overhead isn't his strongest, so Hicksy could get a lot of points on him on that. Super yoke, I think Hicksy's better. The car roll should be close, but I think Hicksy will probably pip it. Truck pull, that might be the one event that Pa can take him on. And then stones, they're both good stone lifters, but Hicksy's stones have really improved over the last few years. So again, I just don't see him losing many points on any event. He's so complete right now. You know, it's a shame he doesn't compete at some of the bigger internationals, because I really do rate Hicksy. I think he's one of the top guys. I'd say he's one of the top 10 guys in the world, and I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat. The battle is going to be for second and third place, and it's going to be guys like Pa. Pa's very, very consistent. You know, like I said before, he performed really well last year. The year before, he was on the podium. He's always there or thereabouts. I think Paul Benton can really challenge for a podium position. I think Mark Jeans, if he puts him in a good performance, there's some good events for him in the final. Guys like Chris Morgan, Sean Logan. It's all going to come down to who performs the best on the day. But it's going to be a great show, and a great opportunity to see a lot of up-and-coming new guys, to see who's going to be the next guys to really step up in the country. I think if you get the chance to go, make sure you do. Like I said, we'll put a link in the description below. I will be there supporting the guys and meeting fans and stuff like that. So if you want to come and meet me, please do come and have a picture and a chat. Got Martin C on the mic, who's absolutely awesome, just gets the crowd fired up. And you can see the Big Daddy Glenn Ross as well, for the older fans that remember him, a real powerhouse back in his day. And the other person that I should mention, they've just announced, is the referee will be Zydrunas Savickas. So probably the greatest strongman of all time will be there as well. So if you don't want to see me, you can come and see Zydrunas as well. Let me know if you guys know of any of these guys. Let me know who you think will do well. If you're coming to support certain guys, comment below. But if you agree or disagree with me that you think Hicksy's going to take it, you know, anything can happen. I just feel Hicksy's the most complete athlete, and I think he's going to be, you know, he's going to have the British and the UK's in the same year. That's a pretty cool double title to have. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be awesome. I'll catch you guys soon.